Right, first strat for highway from south is just a pretty simple 1-2 strat. Um, there are some like things you can tweak, like you can make these 6 ETPs if you wanted. You could make them E5s, you could make them chiefs, you could. I mean, you could make them Type 71s, but like I think I would probably stay away from them. But like if you want to pick another tank to play this job, as long as it's got a turret and like some gun depression, you can pick it. Yeah. The Shoes of 9 is here just to stop any kind of play on the outside. Like they can't really play to go around you because the Shoes of 9 and the Hori. This Hori can maybe eventually come to somewhere here to get shots into like this area, but you kind of need to make sure you win this side to do that, so you're not randomly spotted by an EBR. And yeah, these i7s they all need Grousers, Grousers Turbo. I mean ideally fuel as well. Like you could take, obviously if you don't have IS7s, you can take 277s or 260s, but they are worse simply because, you know, an i7 doesn't have any kind of hold down, it doesn't have any kind of cupola. So, you know, it's always nice to have that. Just being undestructible, or unkillable, I guess. Yeah, so you're sending 4 i7s all the way to the corner to make hold downs. You need to be careful with this i7. They need to be more. They can't be all the way at the red line because there's like a little. I don't know. It like goes up, so you can't sit hold down on each other because you would show like the roof of your tank. So yeah, you need to make them basically like here. And then obviously if there's a hold down here, then you kill it and you just trade off against that. And yeah. These tanks are just here to stop anything peeking on the i7s if for some reason they want to, as well as they can turn around and kind of help if there's anything playing here as well. But yeah, reactions are if the enemy team comes full AB line, you just have a fight. You obviously will lose like double I7 probably doing this, but hopefully you kind of kill anything here or here with the crossfire you make. Obviously all these guys should be watching if they can shoot any of this cross. I think M5Y should be fast enough to like have a shot here. I think if the enemy team is not taking like everything to go fast, so you can drive kind of like that and then go to here to get maybe a shot on that cross. I think you can even shoot over this building or something. I don't know exactly, but yeah. So if they come full AB line, obviously they have the choice of coming to fight you, like I'm just sitting here and here and maybe here, and I can't really explain more than that. Like you just have a fight. It is quite important that you win the 9-0 with your double EBR. Because if you lose this control of the map, then and you can't pressure into this, you're kind of fucked because you cannot move. Like all these i7s are now stuck. Because they'll have guys here and here and like here and here, so they can't move. So you're all your rotation power is from this. So maybe you can leave with like 3 to reinforce this and just leave 2 for the crossfire. But yeah, it starts to become a bit harder when the enemy team have like I don't know like double I7 going city, which is a strat I'll show you when I do north. But yeah, yeah, I can't really explain more than that. You just have a fight. Hopefully you kill this. After you kill this, you can kind of start pressuring, this away, and you kind of force them back to then where you can actually rotate. The ideal play after you get like these positions is to then YOLO and EBR through to spot their TDs. A lot of obviously teams that play North put a guy here to stop that, obviously, because they would like to protect their TDs. If they don't have a guy here, you can just normally send your EBR like this, and he goes to clear the EBR. Everything from your team aims and shoots, and hopefully he dies, and then you can start playing more aggro on these people. If not, if there is a guy here, they will normally have a guy here to also stop the EBR from doing this. But if not, obviously you can just take your WBR and try and pressure it out. Normally, as well, for this EBR, it is quite dangerous to do this run. You're probably maybe forced to do this run in EBR, but if they have double TD, you will possibly die. Also, people are doing splits where they leave, like, I don't know, 5 people here to try and hit you. So this run is very dangerous, especially because you can't spot this A-line cross without going like ridiculously high. So I've kind of started to put my EBR more here. It is quite difficult though, because you have to kind of drive kind of quite well here. I mean, you can kind of sit in one of these bushes, but the CPR might just come clear you, and the TD's aim, and you will die. But like as you can see, like this guy is just in render of the A line. So he should be able to see what is coming field, but again, it's just very risky to spot with your EBR on this side. The EBR in town should be doing this run really. Like just doing like a run like this and then turning around so he can see what's coming down. Because if you do this run, you don't really, I mean, you stop the EBR from like getting into here, but like your main point is to spot this. Especially because this guy might not get a good spot off because he gets spotted by the EBR. So it's quite important to like do this run to see what's coming, and then obviously run away again and maybe just chill like here or somewhere. If they don't come AB line, I would recommend taking this control with like maybe double I7. You immediately, after your EBR kind of like tells you that there's nothing coming, I would immediately turn around with all your I7s. Ideally, it depends on which is faster. If the 279 can go here, then fantastic, he should go there. And then you're just kind of waiting. I don't know, let's put like this here for now. And like this, we can do. For now, you set up like this. If they are defending, they might just obviously camp the 9-0. In which case, you kind of decide on what you see, really. I'm not going to put, names on the tanks because, like, this is just kind of your situation and could be any one of your strats. But yeah, the idea is basically if you see nothing and can take this for free, obviously you take it. Obviously, you might do this earlier rather. If you don't have enough time, obviously you're forced to push it. But if you have enough time, I don't know, you've done this, you've cleared this, and you're pushing this with a few tanks. And you think they're camping because of their setup. They're bringing lots of 6 ATPs or whatever. Then the idea is pretty simple. You're just bringing like 4 I7s here. You could even bring more if you wanted. You could bring, I mean, I think Aurora did this to us in Clan Rivals. So you could do something like this, where you have a lot of your team here, and they're ready just to control these people and to get people in the cap and control this, while these people are kind of stuck because they cannot leave because all these people shoot them. These guys can also just go to this side and peek them from this side while you get double. You just move the CBR. You bring double EBR into the cap. You bring if you have double I7, they go here, or whatever mobile tank you have. They go there. They push this guy. I mean, you kind of have to know that they're camping this, and obviously have enough time to rotate. But if you have like 6 mobile tanks, you should be pretty well. Especially if you've opened north. If you've opened city, then you should have enough time to just rotate a lot of your team. But yeah, here is just kind of the main location of the breaking the camps, just because it shoots this cross. You can go onto this side and also shoot them coming back, shoot this, dump into this. Very annoying for the team because they cannot stop you from doing a lot, really. Yeah, but it's obviously very important that you get this info that they are set up like this. Yeah. Okay, to the next kind of camp that the enemy team could do would be, I don't know, they're playing close in the city. This strat shouldn't really work for the enemy. Again, yeah, let's say they're doing this. Again, you kind of have 2 options. Depends if you spot it early enough. Normally, you are pushing the city with most of your team just to kind of just secure it. But if you've rotated back, you're coming like this. You know, you have a guy that's here and he peeks. He sees a guy here. He sees some people a bit further back. I would literally bring my entire team and go push it. Maybe like 2 heavy tanks out here. Do we have a TD? Let's say we have a TD. Oops. There you go. There's a TD. Yeah, you just literally bring your entire team, other than the TD, and you go push this. With your whole team into the city. Because you catch this guy, you will catch these people. If they fall back, then you could probably just keep on taking because they're going to be back here, and you just go push and aggressively peek them because they have at least a few out because they don't know what side you're coming from. Hopefully, you know, you've done your due diligence and, you know, push these people back so they can't see your approach. And yeah, you just go push into their whole team. You pick up this guy for free. You then just keep on pushing and you just keep on going. Use the momentum, the snowball. Go kill what's ever here. If they fall back even further, if they somehow manage that in time, you just keep on going with your fast tanks across. You keep enough here, so you know if there's any group here, you go kill them. And yeah, that's kind of if they're playing close on city, I would just recommend that. Obviously, you could also, you know, if you see they're playing heavily aggressively, you could just go push their base. Obviously, they could be baiting it. But yeah, you know, they could have like 1 guy here, 2 guys in support to make you think that they're full city, but in actual fact, you know, they're all sitting here and waiting to repush or whatever, you know. But you know, you could do, you know, this have like I don't know 4 in city to like bait your going city. I don't know. You probably sent like 3 here, probably. Yeah, you go push like this, and this already covers the heavy tanks. But he also could be here. Yeah, you know, this is all about info gain. If you see a lot close, you have the choice of either just full pushing it or going this way. But hopefully the enemy team are not dumb and they get all spotted with like 5 tanks close, because yeah, that'd be quite bad of them. I mean, most people are normally sitting. Most people don't normally sit here as well, because it gives you 1 shot on this cross and then they kind of completely out of the game. Because, you know, the Hover you can sit here and shoot all the way down this road, so they can't sit here for the next cross. If they're setting up like this for a camp, it is pretty shit. It can work, maybe, but again, if you push the city, you see nothing close, you should be instantly thinking, okay, I can take this for free, and I can go back, probably, with most of your team. Because if they're sitting here, obviously, you don't want to... If they have a guy here, he's just probably here just to spot this cross. Obviously, they might need another guy to spot, like if they come like this. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you can maybe cross like this, but yeah, if you can take this for free, you need to instantly decide, is there enough here that I can push on? If there is not, I would rotate out. Because they could be doing this kind of like, you push the city, they repush this. Obviously, you kind of need to see, like, your EBR should do a run here. Like, you know, after you've cleared the city, your EBR should just go under, do a quick run, see what's here. If you see their entire team, I would send like 4 into the city just to hold it for now. And I would rotate the rest out. So you'd end up, you know, something... Let's do something like this. And now you will basically kind of do the same thing, is you will send your tanks to here. Do we have a TD? Yeah, we do. Okay, so your TD is probably here. In this case, you might, if you are worried about them repushing, you know, if they have like the perfect lineup, they have 4 260s or 4 fast heavy tanks, and then the rest like fat heavy tanks, you know, 60Ps, 705As or something. I would leave a tank here. You could leave your TD here, but I think a heavy tank is a lot better because, you know, if they want to push into you, you would probably have 2 here. Think about it. So you set up like this. If these guys want to repush this side, obviously they can't just go like this because these people just come to here and they shoot them. There is a ridge here that you can just shoot them from, and you can do nothing about it. So they can't push this. They will need to like go into this group if they want to. Obviously, your TD farms. This guy farms. They can't really continue because they need to clear this guy out. It's kind of why you have a tank here. If you don't, then they can maybe like start to pressure out like this and start to be it hassling your TD. Obviously, you have these guys here that can then just come down and murder them, and these people will shoot them if they try and overpeak on that repush. But like these people should be kind of, in very hard to kill, especially with like this array. Obviously, this is like the perfect reaction for this. After your EPR does this, I would probably send one guy back. You normally like in this case you have taken this, so you're normally leaving like one guy here, maybe a guy here. So these guys just join up together, and then you repush this. And yeah, that's kind of it. Like, if they decide to sit like, if for some reason they are sitting, I don't know, like they haven't, like their whole team is just sitting here, maybe even like back here or whatever. They're sitting like this. Yeah, the idea is you just go on the outside, same kind of thing. Well, I guess the exact same. But you get this control. In this case, they probably won't have anyone here. So I don't know, let's say they just do this, something like this. Yeah, again, it's just taking this ridge line. You split the map so they have, 2 lines of control. God, my mouse is being really weird. But yeah, your idea is, if they're camping like this, is to get control over this to shoot them in the back. And yeah, eventually you want to start playing here with, your whole team. But obviously, like A9 kind of shoots them for doing that. But yeah, afterwards you kind of just want to get close with your whole team. Start being annoying. This TD obviously comes close. Obviously, if that TD is an STRV, it's a lot easier to do this, because as soon as you get the tank to here, they will slowly die. Your EBR obviously needs to clear this push line. Probably want to bring both to do this. One to clear, one to take over. STRV sits here, murder, right? Maybe here is possible as well. I'm not entirely sure. I need to check like this oil tank, these oil tanks and the water tower thing. But yeah, you probably just want to leave like 2 tanks there, and the rest can come up and start playing, on this. Obviously, you want some tanks here to obviously shoot them. If they do try and repush this, obviously you want a lot of tanks in position to shoot them when they repush this. But you could also, like, bring your whole team, or a lot of your team, like this. You keep 2 on the outside, let's say, these tanks, and you can go pressure close to them instead of playing out here. To shoot them here, you just get in their faces. You have 2 tanks here, you have a guy here, and they will slowly, hopefully, die with your crossfire. Maybe you can leave one guy in the city, to make them, if they want to repush or dump you, then you have this guy kind of shooting them, right? Yeah, I think that's the kind of 3 camps that are most obvious on this map. So yeah. Right, next strat is just a full city strat, pretty basic. Yeah, you have a few options with this. Obviously, this Leo has a question mark because this could be a lot of tanks. It could be a K91, it could be a Leo, it could be a Sturv, it could be a Hori. I don't know, a 268 for God's sake. But yeah, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, with this strat, I want this tank to have kind of some mobility so it can rotate. And a Hori is a bit, it's a lot nicer, obviously, to shoot the city and come into the city. But if you want to kind of, if you want to break the camps and shit, it's kind of nice to have a tank that can go under or play here or here quite well and just get there really fast. Also, Leo's, I think, very good for killing EBRs. because there's good shell velocity. Anyway, yeah, these TPs, you could change them now that TP is nerfed. I mean, you could change them to like full E5s, I guess, if you wanted. But I'd probably keep some TPs because, the camps, if you're fighting a camps, you want that armor and health, and the TP still provides that even after the nerfs. Anyway, the idea, obviously, you need to look at that setup. If it looks like they're not playing City, you can still open full City just in case, but you need to get ready to rotate. So, yeah, if they're playing full 1-2 or AB line, the idea would be, well, my reaction to this would be, I would rotate double 260. I would rotate the 3 5s. I'd probably rotate like double TP, and I would go like this. So you have all your TPs in the city. This BZ can maybe just sit here and just watch the angle. Your EBR can go clear this and just do a run here. Can't click apparently. Do the run here to see what's here. Ideally he does like runs here if he can, but I doubt it he can. There might be a guy here. But yeah, the idea is you just want to spot this cross if you can to see what's coming back, because obviously if you repush this, which is probably the idea of it, you want to know if you're pushing into the whole team or not. Anyway, so the idea is, obviously, they could just keep on pushing if they wanted to. Maybe they see your whole team and they go, oh, he's probably not pushing. Maybe you bait them while sending like double TP to get spotted or whatever. And yeah, I mean, you want this 260 after, not seeing anything, will go to G1. The Leo will probably come back to here to support, while these guys are rotating back to support. Afterwards, you probably will go with your 3 E5s to here with your TPs. So you have, I can't even see, so it's 6? Yeah, 6. Wait, maybe 260. Yeah, okay, that's right. Anyway, you kind of want a TP instead. I mean, maybe you do this. 3 is enough, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of up to you. I would probably keep 3 and 4 in the city. I think that's quite a nice number to have because of the things you will be doing with it. Anyway, if you see them rotating back, I would push this side. And the idea is you have double 260 that goes to like here. They will go under like this to here, and these tanks push across. At the same time, these TPs will go up to here. Oh, maybe the BZ as well. So you have 4, and this Leo will come to here. It kind of depends on where you think they're going to be. If you think they're going to be heavy 1-2, I would probably keep the Leo back here. If not, I would probably keep him here because the idea is hopefully the timings are correct. Obviously, you need to get your EBR here before you do this with your TPs because they're slow and fat. But you go under like this with all of them to here. They are now very safe from this peak because like they have this little bridge line here that makes it basically impossible to push this. Your Leo will just farm them if they do anyway. Your double 260 is under the bridge, like here, while you've pushed with your whole team here, like so. Yeah, obviously this may be different tanks, I guess, in your case. I mean, and the idea is basically if they have anything here, these 260s will kill it. So you don't need to worry about anyone here. If there is a guy in A1, which a lot of teams will have if they're camping this side, you need to make sure that you're not being shot by him, ideally, in an ideal world. Maybe you send an EBR if you can to YOLO him to kill him. But yeah, most teams, if they're not defending, will always rotate back to their base to take this ridge line back. So much of the time you'll just clear this field. Obviously, Obviously, it depends on how much they have, but most of the time you will be able to clear it. They can't sit here now because the 260s. They're not really safe from anywhere. They would need to have a lot here to kind of hold it. And if they have a lot here, then you probably want to stop early. I mean, maybe, I don't know. If for some reason you think, or your EBR comes here, he sees nothing. Like he literally sees nothing here, and they're full setup 1-2. I would probably just bring my entire team. I would probably just do this. If you can take this all the way, then fantastic, go take it. Maybe bring the Leo like somewhere here. Let's say here, for example. I mean, really, it should be like this, really. If you know they're full camping 1-2, I don't know, they're like sitting. I don't know, like one. That's not red. What the fuck? Okay, that was weird. I don't know. They're sitting like this. That's a TD. I don't can't be bothered changing it for now. Um, like here. And what times do I have to play? Press play. I don't know. One more. Okay, we'll put like a TD here as well. This heavy tank can join wherever. Yeah, if they want to sit like this, you kind of want to just get this control with these tanks to then shoot this. And then just hold this ridge line for as long as you can. Ideally, you might even send one of your EBRs to go to just clear this. Where are my EBRs? So you might go like this with both, just to spot these people, because obviously if these people get spotted, that you shoot them. And hopefully they will be killed. Yeah, and it's just kind of like a slow grind of hopefully having, angles to shoot these people in the side, and eventually they die. I mean, obviously, if your Leo can go like out here, it'd be fantastic, but you need to see where the EBRs are first. I mean, if you somehow kill both EBRs, then like you can just play like here and chill in the Leo and farm all these people. I mean, you might put like double 260 here. You might even do this, something like this. I don't know. Let's just say they do this. Now you have 3 260 shooting them in the side with maybe the Leo support. He can either be, up here or whatever. Probably want to bring an E5 up here just to stop the peak on the corner. This guy can counter kind of these two angles while these people are kind of just fighting against these people, spotting them for the 260s. And the UBRs can take turns and maybe spotting these people. Yeah, I think that's kind of it for like if they play 1-2. Like yeah, if they're full camping 1-2, then you do like what I showed just now. If they are probably just rotating back, or you think they're going to rotate back to this with their heavy tanks or like the hold down tanks, and they kind of leave like 4 I7s out here. They have the people here that are kind of just useless. They can't do anything. You will pressure this out. You will kill it. With the angles. If they have anything here, these double 260s just go here and kill it. If they have a guy here, there's 260s will just go here and kill it. If they have people here, the 260s will kill it. Yeah, it's quite nice. They would need to have a lot here to hold it. The things that could go wrong is maybe they get an I7 into here and they spot your rotation back. Yeah, then you'd probably just have to take up to like here and maybe just dump it with double 260 or something. Maybe another thing is, I don't know. Yeah, they're full setup here when you do this. If they're full setup here, I would probably just like try and chill for as long as you can, while these people probably take their base a little bit. It is quite hard, this kind of camp to break, but most of the time you're just full pushing 1-2. To break it, I think, can't really think of any other way you'd break it because of, them holding here, but yeah. If they are Playing city. What you want to do is get your BZ across. These double 260s are staying here to punish this cross. The BZ should hopefully take this not for free because they will punish him. But they shouldn't have anyone here unless I don't know they're coming full city with like an IS7 setup, which is really weird. Um, then he will be cut out if they have full IS7s and play city for some reason. Um, but most of the time when you're doing this, they will have a heavy setup. And yeah, you if they try and recross, you have all your TPs and 260 to punish. After you take this control, you can stay with all your heavy tanks. The double 260 rotate out with the 260 and Leo. So then, obviously, like I've hopefully explained in the camping section, if they are close here, you will get your tanks out to here and start to play here with maybe like double 260 with the other 260 here with the Leo here. Just to quickly set that up like this. Obviously that's whatever TD that you have. EBRs are trying to get into this locations, and yeah, then it's like how do you want to break this? You might try and rotate out more TPs, like on the outside, just to come like this after you've pushed these people down, and they just come across to here and they fight here, or if they've left some people here and you see a lot here, you can just go push into this. If they are all playing here, then you need to start thinking about probably trying to cap. I mean, you like try and bring your E5s or something if you want to try and cap. It really depends on how much they have here and how much they have city. If they don't have a lot here, you can definitely cap. If they have, equal numbers, like, they have three, then I would start to bring some more tanks out wide to go take this. Because, I mean, if they're all sitting, in here and in the city, you can just take out wide for free, and they can't really do anything about it. Because they can't sit there, because they get shot, basically. I mean, you can kind of peek here, like here maybe, but just to spot them. Obviously, you don't want to peek sideways on and stuff, but yeah, I think it's kind of what you want to do. Yeah, and that's kind of like how you'd break it. If they have a lot of 60s, they might go here to go like this to, then come around and shoot these people in their ass. In which case, you need to think about that, I guess, but obviously you just try and punish it as much as you can. Double the 260 putting mix a shield for each other to live as long as possible. The 260 will die probably if they do this or something. But then you need to push the city. I mean, obviously they're full close, you get kills. Um, you know, if you see nothing in the city, then obviously you shouldn't be probably doing this with so little tanks. Obviously, like I said, you should be putting a tank here to stop them repushing this, probably the E5, and then you just go push this, basically. Or, bring a lot of your team out to go to here. Yeah, that is it for South, I think. Alright, I thought I'd show you this game. This is not leading, but it's fine. You get the idea. Yeah, this is just a split at the start of the game. This is kind of similar to what I showed in another replay of like how the enemy team opened, with like a lot here and a lot will be in base waiting. So yeah, idea is obviously just to take some control in the south to make sure they can't really just YOLO push it. They have nothing in the north, I think, from what I remember. So we just go take it. You need to be quite careful in the city. Obviously, you just don't want to get caught at all. So you kind of need to be back here to make sure you can fall back in time. But as long as you get out in time, it's fine. As you can see, This is like the thing I've talked about many times. If they are playing town, you just take this, and then you probably are re-pushing the town. Um, but I mean, you could also do the E-line play probably here as well. But you may as well wait for the EBR that you have to do a spotting run, probably. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about right now. We're just grouping up in city to push it. Yeah, as you can see, getting the beyond is very nice as well, because some idiot peak like that, you punish him. Next thing is, if you're playing advances, obviously you have the strike, which, if they are stacked in this corner, it is quite a nice strike. And basically a free like 3k damage or how many tanks they have there, and as you can see, this strike is just gonna bleed all their health. They can't really do much about it, right? They either sit in the open for us or they get striked. So yeah. Um, as you can see, we're like 7k up already, so like kind of chilling. And as you can see, there is quite a lot here. There's 4 here. So most likely you're just going to push across because you can pick up 4 guns basically for free, and the game is over at that point after you get your 4 guns. Could you also probably go E-line? Like maybe, but this is just such an easy push on the people in the corner that I would always just push the corner here. Because they have so many, in the E-line. Like obviously, I go first. I take all the shots. I take like 2k, and now we're across with a lot of our team, and we will just murder these people. Obviously, strike helped a lot for this. But yeah, we just have more numbers here, more health. We will just kill this. As you can see, we're nearly 3 guns up, soon to be 4, and the game is over. They have no control over anything. They can't repush the city because we have outside. Pretty easy game, I would say. And now it's just kind of clean up. We're 10k up. Yeah, we have literally every angle in the game, and they have 2 boxes of control. So yeah. I'll quickly just kind of skip through this. And yeah, I thought that was just another good example of just what happens if the enemy team. It's a weird view. If the enemy team just kind of sit like this, with all their tanks in the corner here. So yeah. Right, I thought I'd show you this game as well. This is another game against Aurora. Sadly, this is from November, so I don't have the replays anymore. But this is not the best of views of this fight. Because thanks with Wings who gave me the replays and the recording. Well, gave me the recording. Sorry, it's not the replays. This is from his POV, and he's not really in the fight. He is, but like he's not in like the main fight, so it's kind of hard to show. But anyway, okay, so yeah, Aurora obviously they're coming full city. They have the 4060, so they could do the move of pushing A line or coming down here if we go out wide. They have a CS. I think he was to push something, probably the 279 or something. Anyway, so tanks gets across here as planned, and now we have this control basically. This 260 that's on the inside here. He's kind of, well, I don't know why he went here, but we just pushed him and killed him basically. Obviously tanks is here trying to swat the A line, the 0 line, sorry. But yeah, the main fight is there, and I mean it is just down to your players versus the enemy players basically, of how it goes. I would push into this, where we push that 260 into. It's quite nice. The crossfire is good for this team. And yeah, now we just start to kill them off angles really, because it's quite difficult to play inside here. Obviously, if they go inside, we have the Kin 1 farming, as well as like the 260 from the outside. And then obviously we have WBR, so we can annoy their EBR and Stir as well. Obviously I think most teams will have double EBR, so you probably won't be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, they just put themselves into quite bad positions, I would say. Um, and yeah, we can obviously just exploit this quite well. I mean, obviously, Aurora is a very, very, very good team. Probably, probably top 6 on the server. At least top 8, at least. Um, probably, I mean, could be top 4 really on a good day, but they have won Clan Royals before, so we did pretty well here. Obviously, this is my rivals team, so I mean, a bit more equal on skill. If it was Gifted versus Aurora, I don't think it'd go very well. But yeah, I mean, the health is still close. However, the guns are not. Positions are very good for us. Like the Kennedy one is now just farming the 279 and stuff. Tanks is obviously pushing this guy to stop him from peeking onto Zitten. And we will just slowly dig them out with Kin Anyone. I would like to remember how much the Kin Anyone did this game, to be honest. Be good to know, actually. Yeah, now the health is getting a bit more equal, as well as the guns. I don't really know why Tanks isn't just peeking this guy. Then he just peeks sideways on. We don't ask questions. We don't judge. But yeah, now we killed the Sturb. We can now just cap basically with just the EBR, and like they will just lose. They can't go back with anything. I mean, they're 50B is anything that could go back, and like he will die. Obviously, but yeah, I mean, like we're a complete. I feel like you should shoot the side of the turret there, but like we don't judge. But yeah, I mean, we put them into very bad positions. We went lots of guns up because we are not in crossfire, and we win like that. So yeah, pretty good way if they just go straight to the. I mean, sometimes obviously the enemy team just won't fight you; they will just sit and let you push into them. But that is the time where you go under their guns on the 8 line, and of the E line, sorry, and the 8 line, I guess, and get to E8. You just only need to be careful for that 260 repush, but you should make sure your K91 is somewhere to support, and you send your other 260 that's in base, back. So you have your K91 and CS here. You probably your Leo or whatever. You send your K91 to here and maybe something to here, and you just expect this repush basically, while having everything in the town and some more here, right? But yeah, that's it for the replays from South. Right, this is I guess Strat 1 for North. It's just a pretty simple 1-2 play. Yeah, you're making shield with one I7. Double I7 will hide behind it. You have these TPs that just kind of stop anything from peeking this corner. Eventually, you will just trade off with these I7s against anything that they send corner. This I7 here is just to stop an EBR yellowing through to spot your TDs. Same with this I7. Obviously, EBR doesn't run in the start to see if they're coming. Same with this one. Though you could technically do this run instead with EBR to spot them coming earlier. And yeah, these IS7s are here basically to push their base if they are playing full 1-2. You'd probably just send this I7 like this, you send the double I7 like this, and if they have for some reason not rotated anything back, you just start to pressure them from different angles and force them to do something. You can maybe bring one of your STRVs like over here or something to cover these people. If you see them rotating back. And yeah, you kind of start can get these I7s more swinging under maybe as well to stop playing this ridge line. And yeah, it kind of just depends on how the battle unfolds, I guess. If you kill A1, you can then start pressuring up to this ridge line or up here to kill the people in this building and this building. If, both it's like locked on 1-2 line. Then it just kind of depends on how much they send back. This I7 can also join, so you have 4 on this side. Maybe an STRV to cover you from like here, if this side will never be pushed, if you think. And yeah, then it just depends on how much they send back. To, if they don't have time to get this, then you can just put like double I7 here, maybe double 1 or 2 EBRs both in the cap, and you can just force them to come and repush their base. Um, yeah, like if they decide to push over this, yeah, I mean you have 3 guns out, but you have double Sturv, you have double TP. These TPs, I mean, you could make them E5s, you could make them maybe Chiefs, you could maybe make them M5Ys, you could maybe make them Time 71s, maybe. I guess it's your preference of what kind of heavy tank you want to be there. I just want the alpha of the TPs, basically, and their health. Yeah, and I mean they should be torn to shreds with tanks that have 8k DPM, right, staring at them. So like, yeah, good luck. And you have a lot of crossfire as well. So this should really be unpushable, really. And if they push this, they need to push with basically their entire team. Like, I mean, I would say like 10 I7s will probably kill this, but like you have double EBR, so 12, you have a TD probably, so that's 13, and you have probably like 2 heavy tanks. It wouldn't make sense. Most times you probably have like 8, I guess, I7s, and that's just not really enough to push this. You don't need to overpeak with the heavy tanks also here, but in that time I'm capping your base with double I7 EBR, maybe double EBR. And this I7 can also cut off the pass with the other I7 and just shoot them as they come back to try and reset. This is very good strat, I think, to lower elo clans. It's just very simple. Because of I think most elo. I haven't really played low elo in a while, but I feel like most clans are just playing A1 because it's very simple to do. And this kind of like takes advantage of that. Right. Obviously, if they are playing City, a lot changes. You don't have a lot of heavy tanks. You have a shit ton of I7s and double serve, so it's not optimal. Obviously, the EBR seals coming City. If you spot their entire team, you probably just go back with the 3 I7s. Like this, you probably want to send like an I7 into this. These TPs will come back. You probably go with like 1 STRV, maybe here, 1 STRV to cover. God, this mouse is really annoying me. And then you're just pushing up like this, basically. And now it's kind of your choice. If you want to rotate more I7s, you can. And yeah, this I7 here is just kind of to peek up to see this cross. And yeah, it kind of, I mean, it's so many reactions here. Like, it just depends on what the enemy team is doing. If they're full city, or obviously you've seen them coming full city, it just depends, really. You might just say, fuck it, I'm just bringing my whole team and I'm just going to go repush the city. I'm not going to put an I7 in, and I'm just going to sit like this. Can do that, totally fine. I mean, maybe you do this, I guess. And then you just go repush the city. Obviously, the double STLV makes it kind of annoying to push. If you are defending, you could maybe just turn it into the 1-2 camp and do something like this. Maybe just double Steppes here is fine. The rest of the I7s are here. And you're kind of just sitting ready for a 1-2 push. And if they try and push your base, you have the double TP that can just peek up. The I7 also can get into render of the base unless they have like a mouse or something to make a shield. Then they can't cap. Yeah, I mean, you might just push this out and try and get control back of this to get resets of the cap if you can. But if you're attacking, it becomes kind of hard to do. Really, because I mean, yeah, it's just hard to get kind of info here. It's kind of why it's nice to get this I7 into this. So you can kind of do this kind of split. Obviously, it's quite dangerous. Because you don't have a lot of your team here with you, but basically, you're making this push hard with your double serve in the back, and then you're just gonna go re-push their base with 5 I7s and double EBR, and hopefully you just win the cap race, basically. If you somehow see that they're like playing or not playing, they're not pushing up in the city, I would probably repush it, just because it's kind of like the easier push. Um, but yeah, it's quite hard with double TD. It's quite hard to find something to push and make them work. Ideally, in an ideal world, if they're just sitting on their ass, I don't know. Let's very quickly just set up at some tanks. Um, they're just doing this camp, I guess. Bonk, bonk. Two more. I don't know. Here, I guess for now. Yeah, in an ideal scenario, you know, why did that change color? Um, you take the town with your team, and you leave 1-2 kind of more open. You do this, you push down with like triple I7. Come to big tanks. There we go. And I mean, like obviously, if you get this I7 here, he can just like spot this, so they can't sit anymore. And then the idea would be to push this with your basically, you have all this. These guys can come under to here. Obviously, this EPI needs to be cleared first before you do this with IS7s. But yeah, the idea is to basically push these guys kind of back. I mean, obviously, if your EBR can like just try and spot them, they go back. You then can like come under with your I7s like this. Hopefully those not been shot. If they want to repush this for some whatever reason, like obviously the Sturv is somewhere else. Like they're both here probably now to cover this push. And yeah, again, you're pushing into AKDBM and you're stuck here. So good luck. Maybe they do it after they come here to start shooting this, but like they should be spotted and not be able to sit here. You have your I7s, DP is also shooting them. And you should be able to like make these people turn their turrets and then just play on top of them with all your team and just kill them. And after you get under control, this camp doesn't work anymore. Obviously they might try and repush this, but you have double I7. They just go back into this hole. This serve comes back and covers them, and they can't win that unless they push like 5 out there, and you probably kill 1, maybe 2 out of it. So it's not a bad trade at all. And at that point, you can probably just push their base. That's obviously in an ideal world if you can push out the city, but that is just a call on information you get. Pushing their base again, like you could just push it, like you could just keep the 3 I7s, they just run back to here, and you go push their base with your whole team. This might work and it might not. If they're full pushing your base, it could work. You need to obviously kill this and this angle. I don't know, let's just say they're pushing like this. Let's see, we have our 3 I7s in our base here. You then have all your TPs, I7s like this, and you have your stuff like in the back here. Yeah, and you just go push the base. Ideally, you push the 60 TPs first. They're probably set up something like this. Imagine this heavy tank is a TD, and they're probably set up something like this. And yeah, the idea is if you come like this guy shoots you. If you try and push this guy shoots you the entire time. So you need to push this and push this guy, and it's just a cap race. You should win this cap race because it's very hard to cap this base when you have double TD out wide. And if you have one of the light tanks spotting or one of the I7s, they cannot cap, or they just get reset every time. Unless somehow they make a massive shield with a mouse, but the mouse will take too long to do this. But it's just a risk pushing this. Unless obviously you see that whole team pushing. So yeah, you can set up ready for this, this reaction with like an IS-7 here spotting and then the other two here, but they could just send like 3 tanks, push him away, and then that's full setup here, or their EVR just does a run here, sees 1 or 2 tanks, and your plan is ruined because they see this and they just go take it. So I don't know. It is quite difficult. You'd probably have to. I mean, like the only way to stop that would be putting an EBR here, and like I don't know, you put your double stirve here, or maybe a stirve and like an IS-7 or something. Or maybe you just do this. Um, like this, I guess, would be like the only way to stop like an EBR coming here, and even then, good luck, hitting an EBR, uh, you know, very accurately. You'll probably hit his wheel twice, so yeah, he'll still get the spot off. And at that point, they're going to send more tanks back and just push this and take this map control. And yeah, I guess then you're just stuck in the 1-2 camp, I guess. But yeah, you've lost some health and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of it for this strat, I think. Okay, this is just a very simple push town strat, I guess. Yeah, you can bring 7 or 5 A's if you want, but because it's like random advances and you don't know what the enemy is doing, if you are not defending, I would probably not bring 7 or 5 A's because obviously they're very good for a town fight, but not so good when you're having to break out a camp or something else. So maybe just bring more E5s. I don't know. Up to you. TPs, you could again bring E5s if you wanted instead. I just want some tanks that can fight in the city and be very annoying to pen. And yeah, the idea is basically, I mean, these I7s at the start can push some E5s. I mean, because you have to, maybe you just bring like 3 E5s. Let's just say that, just for, it looks pretty, I guess. The I7s can push the E5s at the beginning to get here quickly, to get here. And when they get here, I mean, let's just put all the E5s together. So they're a nice family. They come like this, they push to here, all the TPs come to here. Your EBR is spotting either side. Obviously, this EBR is quite risky because he has no support at all. I mean, you could put the stirve here in the beginning if you wanted. If you don't have a stirve, I would probably just bring a Hori and put him here instead. But yeah, if they're playing full 1-2, you just go straight with these I7s to here. You probably come to here. You just go over with the TPs to here. If they have something here, you have to go kill it, probably. They all most likely repush these IS-7s. Obviously, you can't really go on this side. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. You could maybe bring, like, let's say this tank is an I7, you could just put him here in the beginning as well. You could maybe do this. Like, you could go I7 like this, I7s like this, and then you have a tank here to kind of spot anything here, so maybe you could play here. But, or maybe you just have an EBR constantly doing this, but most of the time you'll be sitting under the bridge or here to be safe from this angle, and then your TPs will just peek on top of these people and just kill them, really, because you need to stop this angle from being a thing. After that, then it's just back to a kind of like you're breaking a 1-2 camp, I guess. Let's just rename this guy. So we know it's an I7. And yeah. So you would have your 3 I7s here. You'd have your E5s probably just watching from the city. And then maybe your 705A as well, I guess. Then I would probably rotate with all my TPs to this way. If they haven't done anything, I would get one of my I7s to like here. I mean, ideally you get them like to here. The stirb will probably for now come to here to cover that. And the other I7 can sit like this. Your E5s can cover. I mean, it's up to you if you want to bring more to repost. You might want to do this. But yeah, after you get this, I would probably just bring these I7s like this. I would move your stirve over to like here now. And yeah, and then the idea is basically to repush the 1-2 to like this, and the DPs come like this. Obviously, they shouldn't be in the best of locations to stop this kind of push, because you have control of all of this, so they can't kind of go out wide to shoot your I7s that come to here. If they have things in the corner, you just trade off your TPs. Hopefully, they don't take too much punish on the cross, but yeah, it depends on what you see. Obviously, if you see them full sitting here, then you go push this side, right? You see what information you have. If you think you can push across this, do it. But I think in most cases this is probably the better push, because you can't see what's here, which could be like 4 tanks or not, unless you get a cheeky spot off with this I7. But this I7 should be able to cut all rotations. I mean, you might even this is the problem with 705As. What do you do with them now? Maybe just bring him into this bush. And you have double E5 here now. And yeah, that's really it for this strat, really. I don't think they can really do much else. If I don't know, the enemy team is doing this, you just pick up and murder them. And I think that's every strat you can really do. Like if they're coming under here, you just shoot them and keep on going to the city with a few to take this control to then kill them. Yeah, and not really much else to do. If they're doing like, I don't know, under the bridge and 1-2, then this I7 will probably die. You try and trade them off with your tanks as much as you can. But you still probably do this play probably. Just to take some map control. But yeah, you need to be careful they don't just full push through your base. And yeah, that's it for this strat. Right, very quickly, I will show you this camp, I guess. Let's just move people back into position for an opening. Right, there we go. So you're opening like this for now. These 260s and Horis are just aiming for their EBR. If their EBR fucks up, you can maybe just kill him. You could maybe just bring double EBR to do this, technically, if you really wanted, but it does give you full info away on the city. I need to be quite careful, obviously. I mean, it's not that bad, to be fair. Like, they probably know of your lineup that you're playing city anyway, but they can probably eventually maybe do this with city control. Anyway, so you have spotted them coming full city. You set up like this. If they try and cross for your 705A, this 705A in the beginning is normally just in the back here, chilling. And yeah, if they come full city, you have the choice of just coming with your 260s to here with the Hori and just, shooting this cross with the TPs and everything. However, you probably want to take this control so they cannot go under with a couple tanks. You might want to go like here with like maybe 1 or 2 260s, just so they can never go under and make sure you can actually freely rotate from the city if you want. Yeah, and then you're setting up in city. It's just a big fight. They all come into you, and you just have to try and fight them as best as you can. This TP will obviously drive in. The Hogri will stay here with maybe the 260. The 260 also might drive in. It's obviously up to you if you think you can win it or not. If they're quite light, this I would imagine will be very painful to try and dig out. Next, if they go full 1-2, you probably want to take the city, like a bit of the city control. Ideally, you probably just go here with a few tanks, maybe 3. One of your 705A goes to here, one of your 705A goes to here, and all these TPs return back to here. Your ideal setup is something like this. Like this. You've killed all these buildings. The CPRs from one of these bushes or somewhere in base is basically spotting this approach. Just, spot them if they come, and boom, boom, they die, right? Most importantly is this EBR. If this EBR can get set up here, And for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. You've killed their EBR, and it's their only EBR. They are never clearing this EBR anymore. Yeah, you are chilling because now you have full control of the city, and you know what's if they're gonna come city, and if they come city, then you just fall back into this camp, or you can just fight them in the city. You don't necessarily need to go back into these positions. You maybe just come with your team and you just fight, and not let them cross or peek under these people. Yeah. If obviously they have an EBR and they try and clear him, obviously you need to try and kill him for this. If he comes on this side, yeah, but hopefully a lot of people can hit. If he comes on this side, hopefully your TPs can hit. Yeah. Obviously D75 A's are not technically needed. If you have this EBR set up, maybe one of them just can leave. Just back to here, or maybe even back to base, because obviously this EBR is spotting everything for you, so these tanks are useless. But obviously after you see them coming, you want to make them go to here, so then you can bring your TPs close, and if they want to pressure across, the TPs slap them. Yeah. If they go full 9-0, oh, not 9-0, if they go full 1-2 and then start trying to do like this push, you should be fine again. Your only worry would technically be if they pressure city with a lot. Well, they push away the CBR, they pressure city with a lot. They come under your gun line with like 3. They have like 2 here and 1 here, or 2 here and 1 here. And so your 260s can't push, because that's the whole reason you bring these 260s. You're bringing these 260s to pressure if they do this play, basically, with like 2. Your whole idea is this, because if they come full city, obviously your 260s are taking this control out wide, but if they might do like going under and also their whole team like this, obviously these 260s are here to counter that. They go to here and then they shoot them in the ass and they die, and then the 6 HPs can just join the city and you fight. Yeah, but if they're set up for a push on A line, it is very difficult, because you have to gamble what side you think they're gonna come from. If they're gonna come full city, like you just set up for it, and you just bring you keep your 260s near your base so you can support the base if they try and go for that, and you just gamble that they full push city into your very heavy lineup and you win. Yeah, I'll probably show you a replay of this to show you how it is breakable. Anyway, here is one game from North. I think I should have posted this advance before, but it's good night, Nami. This is the opening game, so obviously the lineups are not like perfect, but I mean they're pretty good. Can't really complain about this lineup from I think either team. So basically, I mean, because I have Chiefs, I thought I'd go 1-2 here, just because, well, I have turret armor, so like why not? I kind of fuck M5Ys. Yeah, I mean, important note: you should always cross red line here with every tank, so you don't get spotted by the CBR spot or anything here and shot from if they have anything like sitting. Like as soon as you get to like here, you can be shot from if they play aggressively here. So you always should go red line. As well, like the spot in EBR spots your the city push, which is very helpful. It's much better than I think this spot, because if you peek here, they could be sitting in base and they murder you. So it's much better just to do this run. The only bad thing about it is it lets their EBR play aggressively. Like their EBR could pressure up to here if it wanted to see if there's anything coming city, but like it's fine. And yeah, obviously because I see them coming city, I turn around with all my chiefs. Pretty simple, I think. I mean, like I could keep on pushing their base if I wanted to, but yeah, I just thought I'd turn back. And I don't think it's very good just to YOLO one side of the map. We can speed this up a little bit. Next, like order of business is to try and get something into this dip. Basically, always. This time they kind of set up a trap for our EBR, and they brought both of their EBRs there. I don't know where this EBR was in the beginning. To get back here, maybe they both went there. I don't know. But it's very odd that people would do that. Anyway, we get our I7 into this. This position is only just obviously meant to spot the base if they're coming. We see this M5Y going back. I think the 260 tells me that there is a lot here. So, you know, I think I can push this out. And obviously this I7 spot is coming, which is good preparation from them, I guess. So it lets this I7 get out. And yeah, well now it's just basically a fight. I strike. I think this guy's AFK, which is unfortunate for them, but unlucky. And because they repush, it's obvious that they're coming with our entire team. I mean, I think after they saw these I7s, the Chiefs pushing in, they came with all their team, basically. So you need to be a bit quicker. I needed to be a bit quicker of telling these people to push, because it's kind of obvious that they were going to push this. If I had the option to, I would not have these people in here. This was only because we decided to push this, but then realized that they were repushing it, so we should have all been like out here and probably like here where the E5s were to accept this push, because obviously we have the Hori in support, so if they want to push these two E5s, they get fucked by a Hori. But yeah, I mean now it's just kind of like clearing up and getting some kills in the town if we can. Obviously we win their base because there's only 3 here. Obviously now it's just time to push away the Sturv and anything coming close. There is an EBR here, which is kind of annoying, obviously. I don't know why this EBR came back when we have an EBR near the base, but it's fine. If we could hit him, we'd do very well. There we go, he finally dies. And now, because we have this Hori here and the EBR, they can't pressure up because our Hori shoots them in the back. Yeah, and now they're kind of stuck in that dip, basically. If they had like an I7 with health, they probably could have pushed the Hori, and then they would have been able to go back into their base. But so yeah, now it's just gonna clean up. They can't do anything. Yeah, but I thought I would just show this game of a quick repush in city, just to show you the signs that they are probably not full city. And yeah, that is it. To the next replay. Right, here is another game. This is another first game. Been playing a lot of Highway, but only first games, so unfortunately you're not gonna get like the best setups to copy, I guess, if you're gonna copy them. But you know, I just thought I would show you going, this way and playing the city. So yeah, we're just going full city here. Kind of a split though, like we have double I7 going here. This is basically to kind of, if they're not playing 1-2, we can just take it for free quickly. And if they are playing 1-2, we can hold here and we have a Phoenix and a 260 to cover them, so they bleed like probably 5k for doing that. And they should lose a tank really if our Waffle Phoenix is hitting his shots. But yeah. So yeah, I mean obviously we're just taking city. The enemy team is just sitting in their base and not doing a lot. So, we just have to take them out control basically off them. And yeah, I mean they repush the 1-2 here, I think. I do rotate some tanks out, but in hindsight it was kind of pointless, really. I should have just probably pushed city really here. I should have left the I7s over there, to their fate with the Phoenix covering, and then I just bring all of these heavy tanks and I go push this side with like the double I7 pushing on the J line, because they don't have any kind of, I mean, like they don't have anything to snipe really. They have no TD, like everything left. I mean, well, they have 3 tanks unspotted, so like pushing like this with, I mean, what do we have? We have, I could probably push down with like triple chief or something. And then when they get to here, they can't really be repushed because I have like guns here covering them, and then I can start focusing these people out. But we get into quite a weird scenario here. Technically, like what you want to do when people are just sitting here is obviously you try and get under the bridge, or you try and get to like here, because here has shots on the back of this. It's still in render. So getting a tank here is very nice, but obviously you probably need a lot more on the field, and I think that was my original intention of rotating stuff to the field, but obviously they repushed with like 3 tanks, and obviously my double I7 can't stay alive. Like this I7 shouldn't be here, you should be more over here really. It's a bit better of a ridge, but it doesn't really matter in the end. At the end of the day, probably would have died anyway, but you would have at least had a shield for an I7, you know? Anyway, basically, now we can't repush the AB line because, well, they have too much there. So our only option is really to push the city. Again, it is kind of nice because they don't have a TD, so I probably wouldn't have done this move. Obviously, if you're defending, I would probably just sit like this, and I'd probably rotate a few more out of the city, because you should be able to get maybe your EBR into like this bush or something to spot any kind of repush early enough, and I probably would have gone back if I was defending. However, I wasn't, so yeah. This is quite nice, obviously, because they don't have a TD. They have an M5Y, but like that is kind of poo. Yeah, we get some fire, which is, you know, again unfortunate, but yeah. But now we're just kind of playing above them with chiefs, and obviously they don't really have anything to snipe. So we can just sit here with somewhat impunity. I don't know how that ABI hit that. Like, man's the goat, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we're just playing above them with chiefs and can openers, so we can slowly grind them out. Yeah, and I mean, it's a pretty simple game of just slowly killing them, really, over time with chiefs. The chief meta is still alive, I believe. So maybe it is. I mean, it's really not that bad, chief now, really. It's either M5Y or chief. Type 71 is not being used at all, so it's just kind of weird. You think it'd be used like a tiny bit, but meh. I guess it just doesn't have the armor, and it's quite boat-like. So yeah. Anyway, let's just clean up now. Obviously, if they did have a TD, I would have probably pushed this on the outside a lot earlier. But yeah, I could have. To be fair, I also could have repushed the field with a lot more. I could have like literally left the town with like maybe 2, just to pressure these people, and then put the Phoenix here maybe, and then repush the field with the rest of my team and just retake the field. But yeah, lucky I didn't. And yeah, but a nice game, I think. On to the next. Right, I thought I would show this because I think it's quite a good showing of how to break this camp. This was from Clan Rival, the last Clan Rivals in, I think, November, I think. But yeah, I think I showed you this strat anyway, so you should know like what the idea is. But I just thought I would show you how they broke this camp, because obviously it is Aurora, which, you know, they won Gold Fists. I don't even know, like two rivals ago, something like this. So, you know, a pretty good team. At this point, we won the other highway when we were attacking. So yeah, now we're just setting up in the city, obviously. and we're just waiting for them to push. Really. Technically, because they're not pushing city, I could have taken more in the city. I could have taken a bit deeper into the city to then get my EBR more established to spot, the K line push. But I think, yeah, I mean, now I am. There we go. But I should have taken like J, the houses here, right? With like maybe two, basically, and then worked off that. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's kind of nice. Like they haven't really took anything in 3 minutes, so I feel like they're just rotating a lot, and we're just kind of waiting for their push. Just skip forward a bit until things are happening, I guess, because why waste time? I think, yeah, I rotated the 260 to be basically closer to the city because, I mean, technically you don't need them in A8 because you can just repush back to there if they do push. So, yeah, I mean, obviously now they're taking like a bit of back control. Now it's under 5 minutes. You could think about, I mean, the serve overturned, but, don't talk about that. I thought they were going to full push city, so I just thought there's only two here. They're probably going to repush city, but in hindsight, I guess it wasn't obvious at all, really. But I should have been taking at least this IMO, and then I probably should have put like an EBR here, to spot if they go under or if an EBR tries to go through. But unlucky. But yeah, I guess they thought we were heavy city because of our setup. Obviously, we're like very heavy orientated city, so they wanted to split off the map basically. And at this point, really your only chance, I think, to maybe win the game is to push the city out with how many you think. I don't know. Like, let's say you push it out with like 4 or 5 and then come back with the rest instantly. Because you can't just sit here, right? You can't just sit here with the TPs and do nothing. Because eventually they will just kill all of your tanks here because you don't have any control. Kind of annoying as well, though you don't have anyone in A8, which is another reason you kind of should keep a tank there, because they're just free to do whatever they want. Now we do it, but it's too late now. You can't really rotate. But yeah, we should have pushed out city here and just killed it, really. But unfortunately, we do not. Obviously, health is up. I mean, we have a lot more health because we're heavy tanks. And yeah. I mean, thinking about it, you probably could just put your whole team here to punish this, or most of it. But yeah. So now it's kind of just fucked. They outplayed us in the city. We should have been more aggressive. They picked up, I think, Chris kind of for free because we were playing back. So yeah, unfortunate. And yeah, it is a loss. But I just thought I'd include this to show you how to break the camp if you think they're playing like heavy city. It's just like 4 on the south and the rest pushing like this with maybe 1 or 2 here. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, first position is this. This is just basically used, like I said, on like 1-2 camps, is basically just to spot the base. That's really it. It's quite an annoying hole as well. I don't know, if you're sort of south base, you can obviously take this dip and rotate off of it because it's quite annoying to kill the dip. You have double tank here and the guy here. He's kind of hard to kill and you will bleed a lot of health for it. Okay, next position is this one. This is just basically a nice ridge line to use to peek on these people if they're not like completely held down. They're very annoying to kill as well. You can't really kill them unless you start to get out here or here. And one of them can make a hold down as well to make a like unburnable tank, so you're forced to overpeak him to kill him. Okay, next is this position. This is just another position to hold the field. I guess I will include this one as well. These positions are basically to hold the field. This one you make a hold down and look towards A1, and then you just, have a fight. This one, you're just stopping people peeking on this corner. Right, next is D1. This is just basically to spot this repush. You can kind of be blocked from these two houses, so you need to kind of make sure you kill these double house, so you see it early, but they can hide using their houses. That's why you kind of have one guy here and one guy here, so there's no way they can sneak up on you. But yeah, just a nice position. Okay, next is this position. I talked about this previously, but yeah, it's just basically to stop the EBR trying to get through. Really, you use this position and this position, so the EBR is always spotted trying to go clear your TDs. At least you see him, and the TDs can hopefully run away and make sure they're out of render by the time they do get spotted. As well as you can like go under with this tank maybe and take this, or go up and take this as well. Okay, next position is just this one. This is basically to spot this rotation. Yeah, so if you take like full 1-2, and then you can send one I7 or whatever into this position, and you spot this cross, you need to make sure obviously you're trying to cover him, because he might get redumped, so you need to be somewhat careful of that. But most of the time, not a lot of people will dump him because it just gets two tanks stuck, so. But, you can get repushed into it. Right, next is this location. This is kind of used only in 279 really, and maybe TP, a 60 TP, and you're just basically spotting this approach to see them coming early. They could go wide, but if you're peeking like on this corner, you can spot them. Obviously, if they have tanks with like 340 pen, they might pen you, but or Hori, they will just pen you, but yeah. As well, you can put, there is like a little bush here that you can put an EBR in. You just kill the walls and you can put an EBR in this tree, and this spots the entirety of this for you. As well as, the EBR can also go here, and that also spots them. Right, first for south is G1. This is just basically to spot this push. Anything with like 12 degrees of gun depression is very good here, so M5Y Type 71 can actually shoot this the entire time. Right, next is this position in E2. I talked about this previously as well, but you're just basically stopping anything from playing the outside and like peeking kind of here, as well as you can go back to base kind of quickly as well if needed. Normally 279 is playing here because that's the only thing that can like angle up here. Everything else will be showing its lower plate. And like if you want something similar, you have to use the bushes basically to do that. Right, next is under the bridge. This is used for crossfire if you're playing 1-2 normally, to basically shoot the people that are sitting here and on the back of here. They also can obviously come from under the bridge to this ridge line if there is anything A3. Like if you're doing a split of, tank, like double tank here, maybe one here and the rest this, the 260s can just come under to this ridge line and murder this. So yeah. Right, next is these bushes for EBR. You're basically using this to spot the outside cross or the outside play quite early, as well as like an EBR trying to clear. If they think your EBR is here, then they might send an EBR like this, to try and clear you, to kill you. But if you're here, you spot him early, and you're fine here. So. Right, next position is probably the most important. It's E8. Again, I've talked about this a lot of times, but you're using this basically to counter the people on the outside of the building, as well as if there's nothing in the, like nothing here, then you can pressure up to this ridge line and start peeking on whatever is here or under you. Obviously, you need to be careful if you're sitting on this side of the ridge line. You need to be careful of a guy in A9, but this side you're basically completely safe if you have like this city control. So yeah, very nice position. I think the last position now is this. You're just using this as basically spot the city. You have to shoot once, obviously, to shoot down all the walls. And there's, I think, this hut you have to kill as well. But now you spot everything that crosses over here. Obviously, you don't spot anything that goes straight zero line. So you might have to have a tank here, but yeah, you spot everything on city if you have this and this. Unless they push, I guess, like this, but like no team normally does that because you'll have like, you'll have a guy here, here, and here, and now you spot everything pushing the city. So yeah. Last position for south actually will be this. You're using this basically to shoot the back of this ridge if they are camping here, when you get this control. Obviously, yes, Stir is probably the best here. You need to kill this building, but normally the enemy team has done that for you if they're sitting in at 9-0. But if not, you just kill the building and you have shots on the back of their heads here. So they're forced to repush you. Obviously, you're needing to clear this with an EBR first, so you can get there with your TD, but yeah, very helpful.